welcome back to another vlog. If you are new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a PhD student in English, specifically rhetoric and composition at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. And I make all kinds of vlogs about what it's like to be a PhD student. That was so cute. Oh my goodness, she just like popped up. This is Pirelli, my little angel. So as I was saying, I make all kinds of vlogs about what it's like to be a PhD student. I get into the weeds of my research, which is about vlogs and multimodal composition and embodiment and feminism. And basically my argument or my theoretical contribution looks at the ways that we can use multimodal composition, specifically lifestyle vlogs, to increase students' audience awareness so they can compose more equitably, more accessibly, and with inclusivity in mind. So this vlog is part of what I am tentatively calling my summer writing sprint. So I am hoping to finish my dissertation by the start of the fall semester. I am wrapping up chapter 2 right now, manifesting that. And that leaves me with chapters 3 and 4 to finish for the rest of the summer. So what I'm trying to do every day is have 2 writing sessions a day. One in the morning and then one in the afternoon. And that leaves me with the evening free. And I'm trying not to write on weekends, with the exception of today being that it's Sunday. I had a wild week last week. I started vlogging and then I got sick throughout the week, developed a fever, and so had to take a break. So I'm getting this week started on a Sunday. Hopefully I will have 1,000 usable words by the end of the week at least. And hopefully that will get me to where I need to be by the end of the summer. So it is 10:50 right now. I wrote for about an hour this morning and I got 436 words written. It was mostly like setting up a section, so there's a lot of descriptive work. So that's quite a bit of words for just an hour, but it wasn't like any of the hard intellectual theory building where that can feel like I'm writing like 50 words in 2 hours. So I feel good about that. I laid out my next steps for what I want to do either for my second writing session today, or if I don't have time for that because it's a weekend, for my writing session for tomorrow. And I'm gonna give myself a little reward because I did my first session, and that reward is going to be a little walk outside. Back from the walk, made some chocolate chip banana bread. Gonna stick it in the oven. A veggie burger for lunch. Grillo's pickles. I've never tried one before. I'm not a huge pickle person, but Megan said they're good, and I'm becoming more of a pickle person. And then the lemon lime poppy, which I've actually grown to really, really like. Okay, it is a little later now, 2:15. I sound super sneezy because I just plucked my eyebrows a little bit. I also clearly just took a shower and washed my hair. I'm gonna let it air dry for a little bit while I read my book. I'm reading this sort of like thriller I just started. I'm on page like 30. And then tonight, Zach and I are going out to dinner for our 6-month anniversary. Cutie little celebration. We're gonna try an Italian restaurant, which I have never been to. I've heard mixed reviews. People either really love it or they don't love it. And typically it's because of the service. You either get lucky and service is good or service is bad. But we're going at 6. I have a reservation, so hopefully it like beats. I don't even know if there's going to be a crowd on a Sunday night. I know it's Mother's Day, but I feel like people go out to brunch for Mother's Day. Anyway, I want to let my hair air dry a little bit before I style it with my Shark Flex style. And I'm sure I'll be FaceTiming my family for a bit to say Happy Mother's Day, open some gifts, open some cards. So all that to say, I think I'm going to save my energy and not do a second writing shift for today. That's totally fine with me. It's a Sunday. And I will do 2 writing stints tomorrow. Everyone say hi to the vlog.
Hi vlog.
Okay, here is the fit. I might take the jacket off if it's warm, but just want something to, you know, cover up. Platform sandals. This dress was thrifted a while ago, like last summer, and I've been waiting to wear it, and it's like $7 from Goodwill. Good morning, happy Monday. It is currently a little after 10 a.m. I went ahead and got ready for the day because I need to head over to the writing center at noon, and I'll be there from noon to 5 today, but the summers are really slow, so hoping to get quite a bit of work done. I tried to get started on my first writing stint of the day, but it ended up just being me staring at my computer, drinking my coffee, desperately trying to wake up. I slept like garbage last night, just like a lot of tossing and turning, having like crazy dreams. I think it's because I took a Benadryl because my allergies were so bad last night. So that's where we're at. I think I'm gonna make a second cup of coffee, maybe an iced coffee or something, and try desperately to get things flowing. I laid out a plan for myself yesterday, which I'm grateful for. I think I'm going to rewatch one of the vlogs that I'm doing for this case study and do like a quick descriptive summary of it and like set things up so I could like zoom into the specific details that I want to, and maybe that will be what I do in the second writing stint for today. Actually get into the analysis portion of this vlog. I feel like this shouldn't be hard writing to do. It's like, this is what my freshman students do. They're like analyzing things and just describing it, then writing about it and saying, isn't this interesting? So that makes me feel some type of way that I'm struggling with it. I actually talked to Zach about this quite a bit at dinner last night. It felt like a downer, just like not ruining the date, but making the date just revolve around my crisis of confidence with being in grad school. So we're coming up on year 7, just finished year 6, and the imposter syndrome never quite goes away. I just had to have him reassure me that like I'm not dumb and I'm not lazy. It just, a lot of the writing process is invisible, and a lot of the writing process involves thinking. My iced coffee, my water. Let's get to work, see how much I could get done in an hour. Okay, wrote for like 40 minutes. I got like a paragraph in. 235 words are in. I feel like I'm at a good stopping point though. I'm gonna have to go back and like rewatch a segment and just like sit down and do some thinking about it. So I feel like I'm gonna push pause until I get to the library. I actually do have someone signed up for the first part of my shift, so that might be like a nice way to take a small little break, and then I'll hop back into doing some writing. So I feel like I may have talked about this in a previous vlog, but just for my own thinking, I'll run through it again. I'm focusing on Jenna Hong right now for one of my case studies, and I'm looking at this life update video where she offers like meta commentary about the process of vlogging, and she doesn't use the language, but how it makes her like hyper aware of her body and how she's practicing self-censorship and self-disclosure that also demonstrate a hyper awareness of her body. And she has a quote here which I just keep coming back to it, and I'm not really sure what to say about it because there's so much, but in response to how does she gain confidence or how do you become confident, she said, I feel like 99.9% of you are so understanding, and I feel like you do kind of know me even though I'm putting my best self forward. I try my best to be as authentic to myself as possible, and as if you were to meet me in real life or hang out with me and actually sit down and have a chat with me, this is really how I would be. There definitely is that truth of like, there is a little bit of a glare when I turn on the camera and record. It's like I know that I'm being recorded, and then I try not to get too much in my thoughts of like what I'm being perceived as, especially when I like edit my own videos and stuff too. So I feel like it can be really challenging. So this notion of authenticity and relatability is always like in my brain, but it's always like really wrapped up in these ideas too. Because I feel like when you try to be authentic, you are thinking about your audience, but you're also thinking about yourself, and you're thinking about the way your audience is going to perceive you and going to perceive your body. And that's what's causing this like embodied hyper awareness. But also like this quote is really useful because she like point blank is saying like vlogging creates embodied hyper awareness. So she also mentions specifically when she edits her videos. So I'm gonna pull in another video where she talks about how she edits her videos. And this is gonna be a bit of a different case study because I'm not analyzing like vlogs per se, because this is like a sit down chat. She's very clear at the beginning this is not a vlog. But I feel like this type of perspective for a case study and this sort of like meta commentary about it could almost function like as if I were to like interview someone, which I'm not doing in the diss, just to get like their inner thoughts about it all, which is really interesting. And then of course like all the other analysis that goes along with the video, like where she's filming it, what she's wearing. She's wearing like a sweater and a baseball hat. Her living room isn't super tidy, like her dog toys are sort of a mess in the corner, which adds to this relatability and adds to this authenticity. It's not like this super like studio recording or anything like that. It makes her feel even more relatable. So I don't know, lots of thoughts here, but I really like that language of there's a glare when I turn the camera on, that it's splitting sort of reality and then the recording of reality, which I know there's a lot of literary theory about this, of like the utterance, the perception of the utterance. I'm not getting into all that though, because I'm focused on embodied hyper awareness. But that's where we're at. Okay, it is later now. I finished my shift at the writing center, came home, changed into some shorts because it got real hot out, and I am on my way to Kroger. I only tutored one person, so that shift felt very long. I did bring myself to work on my dissertation a little bit. I'll give you guys an update on that. I'm just reaching like a wall with thinking, and I know I need to get back after it tomorrow with like a fresh brain. So I took some time to just make a grocery list, pin some new recipes that I want to try out. I'm also like really craving pasta salad, so I'm gonna get stuff to make that for dinner tonight and to bring for lunch tomorrow. And yeah, that's what we're working with. Much later, just got out of the shower, didn't wash my hair, so it's in a really loose, messy bun. But it is 8:40, sun isn't fully set. I'm gonna get in bed because it's been a really long day. I'm also in the midst of trying to like release or like lease a new car, and it's just like a lot of back and forth with like the dealership and my dad, and it's stressing me out. So I'm gonna lay in bed and read till I fall asleep. Good morning, happy Tuesday. We're gonna get today started off with a 9 a.m. Zoom call, but first things first, I need to get some coffee, yogurt, and some farmers market strawberries. Okay, I was confused. The meeting is tomorrow at 9, not today, but that's okay. It's probably good to get myself up, sitting at my desk, out of pajamas, with a cup of coffee, ready to work on the diss. So I left myself a little rewrite prompt at the end of my last writing session, just because I knew that there was like more thinking I had to do, but I knew that I needed like sleep and a fresh perspective and brain to work on things. So let me pull that up and see exactly what I said. Okay, so I'm at this part in my writing of this case study where I want to talk about the way that Jenna Hong is talking about authenticity and relatability in order to show her embodied awareness. Because to me, when she talks about relatability, that's showing that she's trying to align herself with her audience, and that's showing like embodied or self-awareness and audience awareness. But the way that I'm doing these case studies is I'm tying everything back to self-censorship and self-disclosure as ways of illustrating embodied awareness. So by just jumping straight from authenticity and relatability to embodied awareness and skipping the self-disclosure aspect, it feels like it doesn't align with the rest of the case studies and that something's missing. So whenever I write, I leave like little comments for myself, like using Microsoft Word comment feature. And I said, what's the relationship between authenticity and self-disclosure? What does this segment say about self-censorship and self-disclosure? And sometimes I feel like I channel my like advisor and I'm like, what types of comments would he leave on this? And I said lots of themes here in my writing: self-censorship, self-disclosure, embodied hyper-awareness, and also authenticity and relatability. What's the connection between them all? Okay, it is an hour later. I managed to write something that connects those dots somehow. I'm scared to reread it because I don't know if it makes any sense, but the sort of agreement and relationship I have with my advisor is he's gonna let me know if things are going off the rails. And he said that's how it goes when you're writing a dissertation that is building a theory. You just gotta try and see what sticks, and if something isn't making sense, he'll be the first to point it out. And I just have to trust that he'll do that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a quick break, maybe eat a fuller breakfast, and chill for a second before I get back at things. Hello, a lot later now. It is like 6:45. Megan and I actually worked together at the writing center today. I had only one more appointment today, so I was thinking that I was gonna get some grinding done, do my second stint of writing, but I did not. This car stuff is so much. So I was just like, I can't get in the headspace to write right now because there's so much like texting back and forth of literally like the whole 5-hour shift. So I just edited the vlog that I have so far, which is for the best because I want to get it uploaded, because I didn't upload last weekend because I was sick. But I'm going to make dinner now. It's gonna be a new recipe. It's like a sweet potato, black bean, cilantro, lime sort of skillet thing, but sounds really yummy, sounds warm, and just like nutritious. It's been like a really rainy day. Okay, here's din. Doesn't look great, but it's like some cilantro lime rice, and then it's like sweet potato, black beans, a bunch of spices and seasonings, cheese. Surprisingly, there's no onion in this, which is interesting, but it's pretty good. Happy Wednesday. Let's do a 9 a.m. Zoom meeting for real. It's 8:30. I'm so tired for some reason. I need to get some coffee and wake up. Okay, that quick meeting is done. Only took like 20 minutes, but I took about like 30 minutes before it started to just like put together a Google Doc of things that we wanted to brainstorm. Basically, it's for the Digital Rhetoric Collaborative, the DRC that I'm part of, and we have a group meeting on Friday, but I'm working on a project for it with another fellow, and I was like, okay, we need to like know what we're saying to present to the group on Friday. So we just like brainstormed some things, created a sort of like timeline, deadlines for ourselves of the project of the CFP that we're putting together. Anyway, I have a lot of things that I could be doing right now, and that's sort of distracting me and making me feel a little bit scattered. I know that I should get my dissertation work out of the way first and foremost. Maybe I should just do that. But also I feel so tired. Maybe I'm like, I should wake up a little bit more. I have an application that is due Friday by 5 p.m. It would allow me to not teach in the spring, but instead do some like admin work with the writing center, which would ultimately save me a lot of time. And that would be really nice while I'm on the job market. Because I already have a fellowship for the fall, so I'm not teaching in the fall. God bless. And there's technically a proposal that is due, I say technically, there is a proposal that is due today, but I sort of abandoned hope on that. I just don't think I have time for it. It's about how I use generative AI in the classroom, and I felt really proud of the ways that I used it. I don't have enough like scholarly literature and enough of a framework to build a solid proposal, so I don't think I want to spend time doing that, and I'll get the next one. Generative AI isn't going anywhere. And There's also a proposal due for the big national conference, but that's not till May 30th, I don't think, the end of the month. So I have lots of time for that. I think I'm gonna do some like warm up work and just like revamp and update my CV for this job app that's due Friday, and maybe start putting together the cover letter or brainstorming for the cover letter. And then once my brain wakes up a little bit more, I'll get a really solid dissertation stint in. That's the game plan. Okay, a little over an hour later, I finished the cover letter. I haven't reread it for typos or anything, but I really just want to get it submitted today and just like check a box off my to-do list. I feel good about it. I know it's not that serious. I am not super confident I will get this position just because I'd only be able to do it for the spring semester and not the full year, but had to at least try. Told myself only want to spend an hour on it. Setting timers can be super productive for like little tasks like this. I feel like setting timers doesn't always work for the dissertation, although I might try the Pomodoro method today because Megan does that and she says it works really well. I really need to eat something. It is like 10:45. There's a fly buzzing around and it's driving me nuts, so I just ordered one of those like plug-in insect zappers. In my car on the way to a coffee shop to go check the box that I worked my dissertation today. Hoping to get a really sustained stint in, some deep work, because I didn't do a stint this morning, but I had to work on other stuff, so it is what it is. First week in my summer writing sprint, I'm allowed to ease into it. I'm allowed to make things flexible. The whole goal is that this is sustainable and that I am getting more work done on the diss than I would be if I was teaching, or that I would be during like the normal spring or fall semester. Back home, it's 3 o'clock. I am eating some leftover pasta salad and I feel good. I got some good work done. I'm almost done with this case study, which means that I did the case study in like under a week, which is really good because this was one that I was kind of nervous about doing. I didn't go into it feeling like I knew exactly what argument I was going to make. I think that the next 2 case studies I have a lot more notes about, so hopefully maybe I could do 2 in 1 week or 1.5 in a week, and I feel well on track to finish a full draft of this chapter by the end of the month. Taking a little midday break that will probably turn into a midday snooze. I'm gonna read my book. This really isn't that good. I'm like a little more than halfway through. She wrote Local Woman Missing, which was a 5-star thriller for me. It was so good. So I don't know what's going on with this one. It's just like honestly kind of cringe. Like some of the writing, I'm just like, what are you saying? Like she's trying to incorporate like this Gen Z lingo and it's just like really hard to read. I think she's doing it to like because like her daughter in the book is like 16 years old, so I think she's trying to like have like realistic dialogue. Anyway, I digress. It's rough, but I definitely will finish it because I want to know how it ends. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end off the vlog here because I want to get the rest of the footage edited today so I can get it uploaded and hopefully to go up by tomorrow, which is Thursday. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. This was the first episode, the first installment of my summer writing sprint series. So if you have other ideas of things that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm thinking of doing not a live stream, but sort of like a Pomodoro writing video that people can play to sort of like time their writing sessions. If that's interesting to you, let me know. Anything and everything. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!